Jon, welcome to the official folk albums chart show. It's lovely to have you on.
Oh, it's lovely to be here. Fantastic.
I thought you might be too grand to come on our little show now you've had two movies out.
Yeah, it was always a struggle. It was a struggle. I got fairly grand after just one, but I'm hugely grand now. But no, um, it's
So tell us about the effect that those films have had on the fortunes of the Fisherman's Friends.
it's been terrifically good for our live performances. So we've just getting one sellout tour after another, to be honest with you. I think mostly off the back of that and off the back of the musical as well. But our name's obviously up there, and people have enjoyed the films, which is great. And when they come to see the real thing, we have to make sure they're not disappointed now.
Yeah, they're not expecting to see James Purefoy or Daniel Mays or somebody like that.
Yeah, they're great. I mean, we got on very well with the cast. They're very very nice people. And James, in fact, still visits quite regularly. He comes down a couple of times a year now, as does Davey Heyman. And yeah, so it's always great to see them. And yeah, nice guys.
I know you appeared in the first film. Were you in the second one as well?
Yeah, well, it was a bit tricky, the second one, because they were under sort of COVID restrictions of various sorts. So what they chose to do was to put a lot of footage on the end of the year we went to Glastonbury and did the pyramid stage, which all seems a bit mad, doesn't it, really? But
Well, that must have been an amazing experience, Jon. How did it feel to have all those thousands of people in front of you?
it was fantastic. I mean, it was early on a Sunday morning, which is quite funny. So I think most people thank their own lucky stars that they were too hungover to come out and listen to us. But we did manage to get quite a little crowd by the end of it. So and we were backstage, and we had a little dressing room for the 10 of us that were in the group then, and we were I think it was it Beyonce or J-Lo or one of the greats was on that afternoon, and her entourage and whatnot completely surrounded our little dressing room. So she had her outfits room, she had her the room for her rider, which is obviously like a banquet, and all sorts of other things, and we were sort of plonked in the middle sort of a bit.
You must sometimes pinch yourselves, don't you, when you get in these grand places?
Yeah, it doesn't seem quite right, but I mean, I hope you can tell, we're all pretty grounded, really. We were discovered as gentlemen of a certain age, so we'd all been around the block a little bit, in our ordinary working lives beforehand. So I don't think anyone was under any delusions of grandeur, really, and we've just gone with it. And in our quieter moments off stage, we chuckle to one another and say, "Really?"
Well, now this album's done really well. When you
Yeah.
came to choose the tracks for it, what was the rule of thumb? How did you choose what songs to put on it?
Well, the last couple of tours, we've been slowly introducing some new material that, each of us, the way we pick the songs for the group is, as individuals, there's 6 or 7 of us that pick what songs we want to sing with the group live, and we rehearse them and practice them. And if they work, then we go ahead and have them. It's rare that we can't make a song work, really. But so the criteria is that the person that's going to sing the lead, because we all sing the lead, is in different songs, because I think that's quite nice for the audience, really, and all our voices are quite different. Obviously, I sing, right down in the bilges and growl away down there, and then you have some of the guys who are singing right in the top 10, right up high. And so that's quite nice for the audience that there's that variety through a through a gig of different sounds. So that's say each of us will pick a couple of songs we want to do live, and if they work live, we think, right, okay, that will probably do for the next album. And then
obviously the seafaring theme runs through it. But I've been listening to the album just now, and I'll tell you what the abiding theme is. You can't get the damn tunes out of your head.
No,
they're so catchy.
Yeah, I know it is annoying. You know, I have my first proper listen through to it the other weekend. We'd had a couple of great nights, one in Chichester and then one in Basingstoke, and we came from Basingstoke down to Torquay. It was like a 4-hour run, and I just had my Apple Music on. I thought, oh, I'll have a listen to our own album then, rather than the soul, funk, and acid jazz that I normally listen to. You can have too much of shanties, you know. And anyway, I thought, well, I'll have a little listen. And actually, you know, if you're allowed to be impressed with what's been put out there in your name and that you've done yourself, I was quietly very proud of what we've done. I think it's well produced and has plenty of variety on it, and it's all within our genre of seafaring stuff. So yeah, I was really, really pleased with it.
Of course, the live experience is the best way to experience Fisherman's Friends, in my view. And we've got a little video to play of you at the Port Isaac Shanty Festival last year in 2023. Was that a great occasion?
Yeah, it is a good occasion. It's one of the first festivals of the year, you know, anywhere really, I guess, because it's been done in April. I mean, we don't organise it ourselves. It's people who are trying to raise money for our village hall, which is one of the guys' wives is very, very keen on doing that, and we do have a lovely village hall as a result of it. You know, probably the nicest in the county, and so that's the pretext it's done on, and it's so well subscribed that we can't do it down by the harbour, which is a great shame, because you know we got this beautiful old harbour here, but so many people come, we've got no option really but to do it up in the playing fields. But you know, even from there, there's a fabulous view out over Port Isaac Bay, looking right up to Tintagel Head, and so yeah, it works nicely. And
I remember it well from our visit there for Folk on Foot, John. It was absolutely amazing. We're going to play Round the Corner Sally, which is one of the tracks from the album. Tell us about that song.
Round the Corner Sally. Well, it's about, the corner in question is Cape Horn, and it's, you know, envisaging the way crews of ships would have been 150, 200 years ago. You know, it was hard physical work, so they had to be young men, you know, young fit men, you know, from their I guess early teens a lot of times up until their 30s, and the senior members of the crew would have been, you know, guys in their middle age, I think. And of course, what goes with young men going abroad, in groups of young men, they would be fond of looking out for ladies wherever they went. And this song was about the way that sailors from Northern Europe would have perceived the beautiful girls of Polynesia, Round the Corner Sally, and the adventures that they had there.
John, it's always a joy to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us on the Official Folk Albums Chart Show.